Hello everybody, my name is Brooke and today we're going to be talking all about the differences between staying on property at Disney World at one of the Disney World Resort hotels or staying off property at Disney World. So I'm going to try to use as basic language as possible for this because I'm thinking maybe a lot of people who are watching this haven't had a lot of experience in Disney World before, so I'm going to try to explain everything as best as I possibly can. I'm also going to leave a list in the description down below of things that you need to consider when choosing a Disney resort or an off-site resort. Just to give you guys a little bit of a background, I have stayed off-site off of Disney property 5 or 6 times now, I believe, quite a few times at multiple different Disney hotels outside of property. And then I've also stayed on property, and I have stayed at deluxe, moderate, and valley resorts on property. Also, full disclaimer, I am biased. I do personally like on-site Disney resorts better, so that may come out a little bit in what I'm saying. What I really do encourage you to do is get together with your family or whoever you're going on a trip with and discuss what the important things are to you about the trip, how much that's worth to you, and then also really get down in the cost savings. Because there are a lot of hidden costs associated mostly with the off-site hotels, you do definitely want to budget out if you are looking for the cheapest option to make sure that option truly is the cheapest option for you. Let's just start by kind of walking you through a Disney trip and the different ways it could go whether you're staying on-site or off-site. So when you arrive at the Orlando International Airport, when you are staying at an on-site Disney Resort hotel, you have the option of taking the Disney's Magical Express. This is a free service that will transport you from the airport right to your hotel. It's a big coach bus. They have little movies playing while you're being transferred. It's a very smooth process. I've done it many times. On the other hand, if you are staying in an off-site resort, you have a couple options. So first off, you can take a Uber or taxi. Now, depending where you're staying, this could cost you anywhere between $30 to $50. In addition to this, most of these cars are smaller, so if you have a family of 4, all your luggage, if each of you has one big suitcase, it's probably not going to fit. You could also use Mears transportation shuttles. You can go on their website. I'm not sure what their exact cost is, but if you go on Mears transportation, they do have airport transportation for a cheaper price. However, I believe the shuttle stops at multiple different hotels, so it might take you a bit longer to get to your destination. You can totally go find that out for yourself. And then your third option is to rent a car. Now, personally, if I was recommending any of these options, I would definitely recommend the rent-a-car option, and you guys will see how that comes into play later. But in the end, renting a car for a week, you can get some really cheap deals, and if you're paying for that Uber, $50 one way and then $50 to come home, you're looking at about $100, and you'll see how much more it is to rent a car, but then you also have to figure out gas and stuff too. So like I said, price out your options, but that is your options when you are off-site versus on-site. If you are on-site, you're also welcome to rent a car or whatever. However, a lot of people do choose the Magical Express because it is a free service. Magical Express also offers something called luggage transfer, which means that before your vacation, Disney is going to mail you yellow luggage tags. You're going to put these on your bags, and that way you do not have to pick up your bags at the luggage carousel. So if you're staying off-site, you are going to have to pick up your bags at the luggage carousel like you normally would for any airport trip. Whereas if you're staying on-site, what you're going to be doing is you're not going to go to the baggage carousel at all. You're going to get off that plane and walk right onto the Magical Express with your carry-on luggage. Disney will then take your luggage and transport it directly to your resort room a couple hours later. So you can head right to the resort and relax and spend some time in the resort, and then your luggage just magically appears in your room. Now that you have arrived at your resort, let's talk a little bit about the resort differences and the resort quality. So first off, let's talk about a major thing that a lot of people consider when staying off-site versus on-site, and that is the size of their family. So if you have a family, a huge family, let's say like mom, dad, the grandparents, like everyone is coming, then an off-site may be a better option for you because it is going to end up being a lot cheaper. So you can rent vacation homes, for example, for quite cheap for a day, and it's an entire house your family can stay in. Disney resorts do have options for larger families. They've recently come out with value resorts such as the Art of Animation that do have family suites. I believe it's the All-Star Movies also has family suites, which are cheaper options. However, other than that, you are looking at a lot pricier for a bigger family. So anything bigger than 5, you're definitely going to want to weigh out where is everybody gonna sleep? On the other hand, if you do want to stay in a Disney resort with a larger family, you can also look at staying in multiple rooms. Disney's pretty good with putting people side by side to each other. As for Disney hotels, the amenities are really going to depend on which hotel level you choose. So value, moderate, and deluxe. Each hotel level has a different variety of amenities, each being a little bit more than the next, and you do pay for those amenities. So if you're looking for just the basics with a bed, value is definitely for you. If you want a whole resort experience, you want to look into more of a deluxe hotel, and prices obviously reflect that. Now, the hotels off-site very much reflect a normal hotel that you would stay in anywhere. You got the Holiday Inns, the Best Westerns, the Marriotts, and some of them are obviously nicer than others. There's a Hyatt, there's a Four Seasons. Really, it's up to you, but the hotel is basically going to look like any other hotel you'd stay in at that brand. I do recommend that you very much search your options for offsite hotels. If you find one that's cheap, please look at reviews on TripAdvisor and other websites. A lot of hotels are run down or have bed bugs that are really cheap, so please look into that, because there's nothing worse than getting it to a hotel and have it be unsafe or have bed bugs or whatever. So there are a lot of hotels in Disney that are cheap, that are offsite, that are great hotels. However, there are some that do have some very bad reviews, so I cannot stress enough, please look into the reviews so that you are not stuck somewhere terrible. So you get to your hotel and you're checking in at the front desk. Now, this is where some hidden fees can definitely come into play. A lot of resorts off-site currently have resort fees. These can range from anywhere from $20 a night to the one resort I believe had a $44 a night fee. So this is additional to the room rate you're already paying. And sometimes resorts will put this in little fine print so you don't realize till you get to the hotel that you have to pay this huge fee. Additionally, some resorts just charge parking fees. Disney resort hotels do now charge parking per night fees. So please remember that and factor that into the cost. There is a parking per night fee. You can find out all about that on the Disney website. Additionally, if you're going to an offsite hotel, you can find more about the resort fees and that on the website. Just read everything carefully. If you have any questions, call the hotel. They'll be able to tell you about the resort fees right then and there. So you get in your hotel, you get in your room, you spend the first night you was traveling, so you go to bed, you wake up in the morning, and it's time for some food. So one cool thing about offsite resorts is you can get a lot of offsite resorts that have breakfast included in your stay, which is awesome. So free continental breakfast in the morning, very common thing at a lot of hotels. If you're staying offsite, you also have the option to anything around the Orlando area. There are obviously Dunkin' Donuts, there's Denny's, there's a bunch of breakfast places that are available to you that you could go and eat at with your family for a pretty cheap cost. When you're on Disney property, you have a little bit less options for sure if you do not have any sort of transportation. If you took the Magical Express in and you don't have a car, you're pretty much stuck with staying on Disney property. Now, Disney food is more expensive. However, there are options such as the Disney dining plan. Now, the Disney dining plan, whether or not it is worth it for your family, you also need to do a lot of research into. You can only get a dining plan if you are staying at a Disney Resort hotel. And you really should look into whether or not it's going to be worth it for your family, because the dining plan is expensive. Sometimes Disney does offer packages that include a free dining plan. That is very beneficial because then you get free food for your vacation. So looking into that, Disney does have some cheaper options. So you could get a bagel for breakfast for like $2. I believe it's like $2.09 or something if I'm correct. So you could get something like that, or a little pastry or something. But a normal breakfast in Disney World comes with like a waffle or two, eggs, bacon, and some hash browns. And I believe that is around the $12 to $14 mark, somewhere in there if I remember correctly. So that is definitely an expense. Additionally, with that, all the rest of your food is going to be on Disney property. If you're staying off-site, you also have the option to go to Walmart or something, or even some sort of Walgreens, something like that, where you can go and get a little bit of food for a little bit cheaper. A lot of off-site hotels have microwaves, fridges. Disney hotels usually do have fridges. Microwaves are maybe depending on the room, but they do usually have some sort of mini fridge that you could keep stuff in if you want to. So you got up in the morning, you ate your breakfast, and now it is time to go to the theme parks. So at a Disney resort, you can either drive to the theme parks and you get free parking if you have a car because you're staying at a Disney resort, Or you can take the Disney buses to the theme parks. There are Disney buses that depart approximately every 20 minutes from the resort to go to the theme parks all day long. As for offsite hotels, this is where I find it gets a little bit more tricky. So with offsite hotels, your options are you can Uber to the parks, you can drive to the parks. Parking is going to cost you though, I'm not sure off the top of my head, but this right here is the current price to park one day at a Disney theme park. And that is good for re-entry if you decide to leave and come back. However, this is the one day cost to park at a Disney theme park. Or you could take a resort shuttle if your resort has a resort shuttle. Some resorts, this is included in the resort fee. Some resorts you might have to pay a little extra. Thing that I have found with resort shuttles, I did take it on my last vacation, was the times weren't very convenient. The buses were not very big. Now, it depends on the resort, obviously, but the thing that I had the most issue with, personally, and maybe this is fine for you, but Disney Resort shuttles can only drop you off at the Transportation and Ticket Center. Now, the Transportation and Ticket Center is a little hub where all the Magic Kingdom parking is, and then from there you have to find some other transportation to a theme park. So whether that be taking the monorail ferry boat to Magic Kingdom, taking the monorail to Epcot, if you want to go to Animal Kingdom or Hollywood Studios, this is where it becomes a little bit problematic. What you have to do is take one of those transportation options to Magic Kingdom to take another transportation option to another park. So basically what you're looking at is well over an hour worth of transportation time. If you were driving to the park, it's probably going to take you 15 minutes depending on which park you want to go to. So obviously that's a big difference, and that can be vital if you're looking to get there for park open. At the end of the night, once the fireworks and that are all done, you're then going to have to get back to the Transportation and Ticket Center to take your shuttle back. It is very hectic to say the least. You're going to want to plan for an hour plus to get back to your shuttle in time. Now, when you're in the Disney theme parks, the Disney theme parks use this thing called FastPass Plus. If you do not know what this service is, basically it's a service where you're able to book a ride time or a specific time for you and your family to ride a certain ride. It's an hour window where you can show up anytime within that hour to ride the ride and bypass the line. No matter where you're staying, you get 3 fast passes per day. Now, it's when you book these fast passes is when it matters whether you're on-site or off-site. So off-site resort hotels, or even if you're wherever you are, if you're just coming to Disney for the day and not even at a hotel, wherever, you're allowed to book your fast passes 30 days in advance. Now, if you're staying on-site at a hotel, you can book your fast passes 60 days in advance. Now, this obviously makes a huge difference because there are a lot of fast passes that disappear. Whether it is Slinky Dog, Flight of Passage, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, there are a lot of rides that you might not be able to get a fast pass for if you are booking them 30 days out versus 60 days out. So that is also something to consider depending how important those rides are to you. Skipping the queue on a 2-hour-long plus wait can be vital to some people's vacations. However, this being said, sometimes you can get fast passes during the day for some of those rides. You just have to be really active on your My Disney Experience app and kind of know your way around that very well. So the end of the day has now come. The theme parks close at 8, but have this cool thing called extra magic hours until 11 p.m. So for off-site resort guests, the theme parks will be closed at 8. If you are an on-site resort guest staying in a Disney hotel, you will be able to stay in the park up to 3 hours late or get in the park 1 hour early each morning, depending when Disney has extra magic hours scheduled. So you can see in the times guides when extra magic hours are scheduled, and only Disney resort guests are allowed in the theme parks and on the rides at this time. And that would be what an average day would look like approximately between an on-site and off-site hotel. Now, there's obviously a couple more points which we're going to get into. So one major one is magic bands. So magic bands are a band that goes on your wrist while you're on a Disney vacation. So this band, while you're staying on an on-site hotel, will have your theme park tickets linked to it, any fast passes linked to it. It will be your room key. You could charge stuff to the room on your magic bands like you would a credit card if you would like to. You can literally do so many things with a magic band. Basically, your whole vacation, you need to have this magic band on you because you're constantly just tapping it on things to be like, I am here, or something like that. If you have any dining reservations, they can pull that up on your Magic Band. So many things on your Magic Band. And you get a Magic Band free with a Disney Resort hotel stay. If you're staying off-site and you're getting Disney tickets, they will be given to you on the normal plastic card that Disney has had forever. And you can put them on a Magic Band if you would like. However, you will have to purchase that Magic Band. So Magic Bands range in price from, I believe, around $12 to like $30 plus, depending which design you want. You will have to purchase that, and then the only thing that is going to do for you, it's going to have your park ticket, it will have any dining reservations, and it will have your FastPasses, but obviously you won't be able to charge to a room or use any room keys or anything like that on the Magic Bands. Disney also does this thing called package pickup, which means that if you're buying anything on Disney property and you say you'd like to get a package pickup, you have multiple options. So anyone can do package pickup if you like. First off, you can ship your package home to your house, which is awesome if you're ordering something large. This does cost money. Disney will charge you a shipping fee. So note that does cost money no matter if you're on-site or off-site. You can also ship your package to the very front of the park. So if you're buying something in Magic Kingdom, Epcot, Hollywood Studios, or Animal Kingdom, you can have it shipped to the park. It'll arrive in the park in about 3 hours at the front of the park, and then you can pick it up on your way out. So let's say it's 10 a.m. and your daughter really wants this like Anna or Elsa doll, and you're like, fine, we can get it for you. You buy it, you get it shipped to the park. When you're leaving the park after the fireworks that night, you can pick it up and take it home with you. You don't have to carry it around all day. Super convenient. Now, if you are a Disney Resort hotel guest, Disney goes one step further. They can ship it back to your hotel for you, which means that you can skip the whole process of picking it up at the end of the night. And what Disney will do is, I believe it takes 1 to 2 days for it to get back to your hotel, but it'll be there by the end of your vacation, and then you can go and you can pick it up right at your hotel merchandise gift shop. I love this option. I think it's awesome. I've definitely utilized package pickup so many times at Disney resorts, whether you're on-site or off-site. I recommend using it if you're buying something, but I really do enjoy package pickup and definitely recommend sending it back to your resort hotel room. So the final thing I have on here, which is actually maybe one of the biggest things to consider, is whether or not you would like to be trapped in the Disney bubble. So one thing about Disney resort hotels is they are themed to be Disney. Obviously, some of them are themed to be a little bit classier, so you have like the Beach Club, the Grand Floridian, all that, which are fancy, but they also have Disney elements in them. So if you are someone who is not a huge Disney fan, only here for your kids, want to take some time and feel like you're in the real world again, Disney hotels are going to be a big step for you. Now, a lot of people love Disney hotels. I love Disney hotels. My parents love Disney hotels. Disney hotels, the theming can be absolutely amazing. Each Disney hotel is themed crazy differently. The only ones that really have Disney like in your face are the value resorts. They have the big objects. If you go on the Disney website and look at Disney resort hotels, you can see that. However, there are a lot of Disney hotels that just have little elements of it here and there. And because Disney resorts are so crazy themed, sometimes it does feel like you're in a whole other world depending on the resort. The offsite hotels, you will get a lot of them that do have elements of Disney in them because you're staying in Orlando. I mean, there's going to be little elements of Disney, but your room is not really going to be Disney. It's going to just be a hotel room. You're going to be able to get like more outside news sources. You're going to be able to like go to the 7-Eleven across the street. You're definitely going to feel like you are more in civilization. So some people really value that, and that's something to consider. Also, a lot of people do or are part of hotel rewards programs. So Marriott, Best Western, Holiday Inn all have rewards programs, and a lot of people have points saved for those specific things. So Disney hotels do not have any sort of rewards program. I believe the Swan and Dolphin Hotel you can use certain rewards for. If you are looking for something that is a high-class hotel at a low budget price that feels like you're not on Disney property at all when you're right smack dab in the middle of it, please consider the Swan and Dolphin. I have stayed in both the Swan and the Dolphin. They are gorgeous hotels. You're paying about the same price for a moderate as you are for the Swan and Dolphin, which is honestly just gorgeous. So if you're looking for something like that, please consider the Swan and Dolphin Hotel. I cannot talk about that enough. Note that if you do have some sort of rewards program in that, it may definitely be something to consider staying on an offsite or even Disney Springs area hotel. And then the absolute final thing I will say is that if you are staying at a Disney World Resort hotel, there is no way to get to Universal Studios unless you are taking an Uber or if you are driving your own car. If you're planning to go to Universal Studios on your vacation, you definitely want to price that out. Some offsite hotels have a shuttle, some do not. That is a whole nother ballgame you want to think about whether or not you're going to Universal. And that is all. So thank you if you made it to the end of this video. I really do hope it helped some people out to tell you the difference between onsite and offsite and which you should choose and why you should choose them. And I truly believe I included as much as I can think of. If there is anything more that you can think of while you're watching this, please comment it down below and let me know any differences between onsite, offsite, your experiences onsite, your experiences offsite, some of your favorite hotels. I'm actually going to leave some of my favorite offsite hotels in the description below, places that I have had a awesome stay at in the past. Please go check them out. They're really great. But there are also so many hotels in the Orlando area. Definitely do your research, definitely look into them, and please, I cannot stress enough, consider all your options. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope this helped you plan your vacation, and I hope you have a magical rest of your day.